Good morning, boys. I just want to take you through what we are doing for our assignment, which is for the graphic novel. First of all, it is due on the 31st of July. Please write that down. I will put it up on Google Classroom as well. This graphic novel is due on the 31st of July. So something that I want you guys to work on between now and Thursday when we see each other again are the following, and I'm going to take you through it in this video. Okay, so I know it says there that it is for My Sister Lives on a Mantelpiece, but you are going to create entirely your own story. You're not going to do it based on My Sister Lives on a Mantelpiece. We're just going to use the themes from My Sister Lives on a Mantelpiece. Okay, so that's the first and most important thing. You're doing your own story. Okay, so here's the task. Your team is going to create 2 excerpts of a graphic novel based on one or more of the themes in My Sister Lives in a Mantelpiece. You will write your own original story, so you're not writing My Sister Lives on a Mantelpiece, and you will choose your own genre and your own style. So if you want to make a comedy, you can make a comedy. If you want to make it action, you can make it action. You are going to use any app, and we discussed this a little bit in class. You're going to use any app that turns a photo to a cartoon. So whatever that you can find that you don't have to pay for, unless you don't mind paying for it. Okay. So you're going to have to use the exposition, and we're going to look at it in the next slide, what an exposition is. You have to use an exposition, and you have to use another aspect of that diagram that we will look at just now. Okay, and the due date is the 31st. Okay, I'm repeating myself. It's due on the 31st. Okay. All right, so here are the themes. What you can do for yourself is you can pause here and write down what all the themes are, or decide as a group which themes that you want to go through, you want to use. You can use 1 or 2 of the themes here. In order to, so is your story about friendship? Is it about alcoholism? Is it about family secrets? Is it about racism? Is it about revenge? Is it about divorce? Like what do you want your story to be about? Okay, you can choose here what you want your story to be about. Okay, so the first step is that you're going to need a story. So what do you want your story to be about? And then you can decide. Your graphic novel has to include all 3 of you. Okay, so you can decide how that's going to work. Okay, so when I said to you that you have to choose, so the first part of your story has to be an exposition. There must be an exposition. Okay, so an exposition is here, it's been explained. It's the background information of the plot that includes characters and settings. So in the exposition, I must know who your main characters are. I must know like what kind of relationship the characters have with each other. Are you family? Are you friends? Are you enemies? Is one bullying another? Stuff like that. Like what is the relationship between them? And where is the story set? Is it at school? Is it at home? Is it online? Whatever, like wherever you want to set the story. Okay. Then you're going to choose any one of the other parts of the story. Okay, so the next one is the initial incident. So the very first conflict that occurs in the plot. Okay, the rising action, 3 major events that add suspense or tension to the plot. Okay, the climax is the most suspenseful part of the plot, the turning point for the protagonist character. Okay, falling action is 3 events or less that unravel the conflict between the protagonist and the antagonist, the good guy and the bad guy, and that lead to the resolution. Then the resolution is that the conflict is resolved, and then the last bit is the tying up of loose ends. Okay, so you have to choose an exposition, and you have to choose another aspect of this of this for it to work. Okay. I also thought that maybe you won't be able to understand all these aspects, so I applied it to My Sister Lives on a Mantelpiece, just so you can understand what an exposition is, what a rising action is, what a conclusion is, and so on. Okay. So if you have a look at this here, The exposition here is Jazz and Jamie and their father. They move out of the family home. It's also the exposition is also the part where you'll see when you open, like in the opening sentence of the first chapter, Jamie says, "My sister lives on a mantelpiece." So he actually explains that they are a family, but also there was this person Rose who passed away, and the fact that mom doesn't live with them anymore. It sets it up for us. It gives us a setting so that we understand what we're dealing with. Okay. Then the rising action, Jazz and Jamie are left independent and unloved. Jamie meets his first and only friend Sunya in his new school. Okay, so that's the rising action. The climax, okay, Jamie comes up with the idea of inviting his mother to his talent show in which he and Jazz will perform. It turns out to be the opposite of what he expected what he expected to happen. The rising action is probably also where Jamie gets the Superman shirt and he thinks that it's from his mom and he's like he's gonna wear it every day until his mom comes, and also just finding out that his mom didn't actually. So that's where all the expectations are different. The falling action can be Jamie finally feels his mother's ignorance towards him and his sister. Jamie discovers Roger in the road and he finally recognizes the feeling of despair and his father, that his father has been feeling since Rose died. Okay, so that's the falling action there. Okay, then the resolution is both Jamie and his father let go of their loved ones. Okay, let me just I'm going to hide my face, boys, so that I can read this last one. Both Jamie and his father let go of their loved ones. Jamie's father throws Rose's ashes in the backyard pond while Jamie buries Roger in the freezing cold ground. Okay, so this is just to explain to you so you understand the different aspects of the story, and then you can decide now. You guys, are you going to do the exposition and the climax? You're going to do the exposition and the resolution, or you're going to do the exposition and a rising action? Okay, you have to decide which way you're going to go, which way you're going to do your story. Okay, all right. I think that's the last. Yeah, that is the last. This is the last slide. So the goal for Thursday is that you're going to decide what your story is going to be and how you want your story to run. Okay, and you're going to decide which app that you're going to use. Okay, we have until the 31st of July to do this, so we've got 3 weeks. We will have times. I will have times where I'll give you time to work on it, and then other days we will work on other work. Okay, so don't panic too much. It's not due tomorrow. It's due at the end of the month, but I will give you time to work on it. Okay. Have a good day, boys. I'll see you on Thursday. How do you stop this thing now? I don't know how to stop it, boys.